How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I'm going to tell you about why I bought more Workhorse, and there are several reasons for it. Some of it is just my own personal growth process and trying to consolidate some stocks. And then some of it is the fact that I'm really bullish on Workhorse, and I'm going to go over those points why I think that Workhorse is going to do really well in the future. Talk to you about an article that was released recently that goes over some bullish points, but there's one big point that I think a lot of people are kind of missing, and they might know it or hear about it, but not really realize the scope and why this is so important. So I'm going to go over that. I'm also going to tell you at the end how much I actually put into Workhorse. So if you don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me and to the channel. Then also, if you want to support the channel somehow, there are links down there below so you can start a new brokerage account with M1 Finance or with Robinhood or with WeBull. I really like M1 Finance. They're my favorite. And then also there are links down to Patreon. So if you want to join our Discord server, we have 10 people in it now. It seems like it's growing all the time. So I really appreciate it. And then too, I want to say before we start that my birthday is coming up on Friday this week. So if you want to do something awesome, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6,000 before my birthday, which I know is pretty far away. That's 600 subscribers, but I think we can definitely do it. And I appreciate it. Thanks. So Workhorse is actually down today to $15.93 at the time of this recording, but I'm pretty bullish on the stock. I don't think it really matters what the stock does in the short term until we hear about the USPS contract or some other news about them selling trucks and maybe expanding their portfolio of clients. So right now, I think it's just a waiting game to see what happens. But if we go over here, this article laid out some of the bullish points on Workhorse. So I'm just going to briefly go through this and then hit on the really important one. So Workhorse stock is not overvalued. So they're talking about how it's about $1.6 billion market cap. The revenues were really low last quarter, which I think really isn't important. And I've said this in the video before this even came out. But they only sold about $100,000 worth last quarter. Their revenues were only $100,000. Right now, this is a growth stock. They have a really high potential if they get that huge USPS contract or even part of it. So they're about $1.6 billion. If they get $1 billion worth of the USPS contract, that's going to increase their revenues like crazy. So I wouldn't really worry about the $100,000 for last quarter. You're not buying it because it's a highly profitable company right now. You're buying it for the advantage in the technology and the potential that they have. The next thing they talk about is Workhorse is an emerging leader. It's a growing industry, that last mile delivery truck market. They talk about how they can lower operating costs and how they also have the horsefly. So this is something I talked about in one of my last videos. I'll put it here. But I go over the specifications of the horsefly. It's a drone delivery system that is integrated right into their delivery trucks. So it's really cool. I think it's going to offer them an edge up on their competition and also really just increase the efficiency and decrease the cost of their deliveries, which is huge for the company and huge for all their clients. The other thing that they hit on, this is the last one before we get into what I think is really important too that people aren't talking about, is the market share, the market opportunity. They talk about the huge market for these last mile delivery vehicles. 350,000 last mile delivery vans are sold each year. And at an average price of about $50,000, that's $18 billion a year. This is something Workhorse has talked about. But if they're able to just get a small fraction of this industry, that's going to be huge for them. That's going to be an awesome growth from here on out if they're able to get up to 10% of the industry. Now, the thing that I think people aren't really talking about too much is the fact that they're partnered with Ryder and that Ryder is making Workhorse trucks available for rental. So this came out on July 21, so it's been a little while, but they're able to now lease these Workhorse vans. So these are some of the couple that they've actually sold recently, but they will be able to rent these C1000 vans, and they essentially got a partnership with one of the largest delivery and rental companies in the United States, and that's going to be awesome. If you don't know about Ryder, they are a massive company. They're about $9 billion in market cap. They have 40,000 employees, and they do a massive amount of truck rentals and delivery rentals. They have about 37,000 trucks, trailers, and vans. So this is a massive opportunity, not just for Workhorse to sell to Ryder, but then for people to try out these trucks, see the cost savings, because the cost savings are very apparent. but they maybe want to know how well the vans actually run, what kind of issues they might actually have. So a lot of people might not want to spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars just on a couple of these rental trucks, and they're going to be able to try them out for a little while and then possibly buy them afterwards. So that's going to be awesome for them to not only sell to Ryder, but also to sell and market to other companies. So let's say Ryder buys just 1,000 of these trucks as part of their fleet. That is a potential revenue of $50 million. So that is a very significant amount compared to what they have had recently. And that would put them at a price to sales ratio, if they didn't sell any other trucks, of about 34. So that's not great, but there are companies that have a much higher price to sales ratio than 34. So what do I think the stock could do? Why did I personally buy it? How much did I buy? I am partly buying this because I'm trying to consolidate positions. So in this video here, I go over my portfolio and I talk about all the different stocks I have. I had about 26 or 28 stocks in that video. I really want to cut this down to maybe 15 to 20. And I want to be able to do that with Workhorse in that group. I also want to add to them because I feel really bullish on them going forward. If they get $1 billion of that USPS contract, I think that they could double. I think that they could triple in value. A lot of it, again, is just the future growth. So how much are they going to grow in the future? But they have a massive market opportunity. So I think that they could definitely double or triple in the next year. And they could even do more than that. So I added about 33% to my position. So I don't have a huge amount of money in the stock. So I have several $100s worth, but I wanted to add to the position. I added 33%. I trimmed another position, actually sold off the last little bit of my SPHD shares. So they're a monthly dividend paying company. I'm buying them in a different portfolio, but I wanted to add more to Workhorse. I wanted to be able to increase my position and be able to take advantage of some of the potential there before they get the USPS contract, because I really think that they're going to get a portion of that contract, and I think the stock is going to shoot up like crazy. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I could be wrong. This is just my thoughts on what I've seen, but let me know your thoughts below. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think the stock price will go to if they get, let's say, just $1 billion worth of that contract with USPS. I'd be interested in hearing what you think. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.